So my topic is PCI devices, like guiding catheter, angioplasty guide wires, balloon stands, and guide extensions. So purpose of guiding catheter, support for device advancement, conduit for device and wire transport, vehicle for contrast injections, and measurement of pressures. So guiding catheters makes different makes, shapes, sizes, and usage. You can see the part of guiding catheter. It's a lever hub and a stand relief part. This is a shaft, a secondary curve, a primary curve, and a radio peak marker, and a soft tip. So diagnostic versus guiding catheter. Difference between diagnostic and guiding catheters is stiffer shaft, large internal diameter, shorter and more angulated tip, 110 degree versus 90. It's non-tapering tip. So reinforced construction, 3 versus 2 layers. Catheter size in French, you can see for each given size, inner diameter is either standard large or Gantt. So different color codes of guiding catheters. So 5 French is gray, green is 5, and orange is 7, and blue is 8 French. So inner diameter of guiding catheter is 0.3 millimeter. So 6 French is equal to almost 2 millimeter. So a selection of guiding catheter. Aortic width is, you can see it's a narrow, picture 1. It's 3.5 centimeter, our guiding size. In normal, we use 3.5 to 4 centimeter. In dilated routes, we use 4 centimeter. Guiding catheter support like hockey stick for right coronary artery and JR, and for left system, it's EBU or XB. So extra backup guide, long tip forms a fairly straight line with the left main axis for the proximal ostial RCA. Long secondary curve about the opposite aortic valve. So tip in the coronary artery is not easily displaced. It's provide a very comfortable platform. So most commonly used guides like Judkins, implants, and extra backup guides. Other include multipurpose for RCA, and for bypass or right coronary artery we use left multipurpose. So left lemur for right coronary artery and bypass graft. So selection of the proper size for an implants guide is essential. 0.75 is for right coronary artery. Size 1 is for smallest aortic root. Size 2 is for normal, and size 3 is for dilated aortic roots. So attempts to force engagement of a performed implants guide that does not conform to a particular aortic root increase risk of complications. So coronary angioplasty guide wires. Coronary angioplasty guide was essential tool to track the vessel, allowing access and the ability to cross the lesion with interventional devices. So structure of a angioplasty guide wire, you see it's coil, cover, and coating. So coil, it keeps the diameter of 0.14 inches. So coil is stainless steel, outer coil diameters. So design coil is placed over tapered core and tip of the wire. So it's radio peak platinum coils you see in picture. In A is coil, B is cover, and 3 is coating. So tip load of wires. It's depend on two based. Number 1 is based on coating, and number 3 depending on tip load. So it's 2 types of angioplasty guide wires, like hydrophilic and hydrophobic. So choice PT is like floppy, it's a hydrophilic guide wire, and hydrophobic is like a size soft. So hydrophilic guide wires feels like gel, and hydrophobic feels like wax. So it's depending on tip load, like floppy, balanced, and extra support. Tip load force needed to bend a wire when exerted on a straight guide wire tip at 1 centimeter from the tip. So floppy wires less than 0.05 gram, balanced is 0.5 to 0.9 gram, and extra support is more than 0.9 gram. So classification of CTO wires, guide wires and CTO are chosen according to strategy employed in crossing the CTO. So it's two types of CTO guide wires like polymer coated and spring coil wires. So polymer coated is like Pilot family, Pilot 50, 150 and 200. Whisper, Fielder, these are polymer coated wires. And non-spring coil is also polymer coated like Choice PT, PT Graphics and Cross NT. So spring coil wires, it's a flat tip in Miracle, Shinobi, Procedure, and it's stepper tip, Confluenza Pro, Cross It and Procedure. So hybrid, it's a hydrophilic wire, Miracle, Conquest and Procedure. These are spring coil wires but hybrid. So like Gaia, second, third. Tip load of angioplasty guide wires. So like floppy, you see it's less than 0.5 gram. Cyan blue, it's tip load, you see it's 0.4 gram. Cyan black is 0.8. It's Pilot 150. It's 2 point. Pilot 50 is 1.5 and Pilot 150 is 2.7. Pilot 200 is 4.1 gram. Fielder FC and Fielder XT is 0.8 gram. So inflation device kit. Inflation device is used for the inflation of angioplasty devices requiring dilatation. It's featured by high pressure tubing with the rotating male lure fitting and a bright analog pressure gauge and extremely comfortable handle. You see the parts of inflation device, wire connector, torquer and wire introducer. So balloon. Semi-compliant balloon, PTCA balloon are used in pre-dilatation of the lesion before the stent implantation. Non-compliant balloon. The non-compliant balloons, catheters are usually ultra-high state to handle the overinflation pressure to break up calcified lesion and to expand stents. So summary of NC and SC balloon. So we used a semi-compliant balloon for POBA of non-calcified lesion, pre-dilatation of non-calcified lesion, and pre-dilatation of ultra-tight lesion. So non-compliant balloon we used for POBA of calcified lesion, pre-dilatation of calcified lesion, and high pressure post-dilatation of stents. So cutting balloon, what, why, when, and how. Cutting balloon, it's a non-compliant balloon with cutting tomes or wires on balloon to secure plug. It's like monorail, OTW, so over the wire. Why? It's carried control incision plan which help to relieve hoop stress, allow dilatation at low pressure. So when lesion with high composition of new intimal hyperplasia, challenging lesion with a high degree of recoil and potential of plug shift. How? It's very important to selecting diameter and length. Balloon to artery ratio should not exceed 1.1 or 1.0. So shorter length easier to deliver. Drug-eluting balloon. So drug-eluting balloon is a non-stent technology in which the effective homogeneous delivery of anti-proliferative drugs is proceeded by the vessel wall through an inflated balloon. So several drug balloons devices in the form of coated balloons are currently in clinical use, namely Dior, Pecocate, Sequent Place, and Impact. What is a stent? A stent is a small mesh-like device made of metal, act as scaffold in keeping the vessel open. Stent helps to improve blood flow and maintaining the patency. 80% of patients who have balloon angioplasty will have a stent placed as well. So guiding extension. Guide catheter extension system is a valuable tool for interventional cardiologists, especially in complex cases. Guide catheter extension system is increased guide backup support and is curricular in complex PCI procedure, particularly in case of severe calcification and tortuosity. So these some extension guiding catheter like GuideLiner, GuideZilla, Telescope, Easy Guide. So microcatheter. Microcatheter provide control for guide wires access in most challenging lesion, antegrade and retrograde approach. You see different shapes and sizes. It's a J shape, bend shape, 2RO bend shape, straight shapes. So Fine Cross, Turnpike, Cowell, Crusade, and Corsair, these are available here in the form of microcatheter. Thank you.